An older dude, like 30, 40, 50, somewhere around that age, we're walking past. He looks at me, points to the CD, he goes, "Greatest album of all time."
Real firm.
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Real Firm Podcast.
Woo-hoo.
Coming back at you with me and your boy Rockstar, our boy Rockstarliiife. One word, three eyes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Today-
I'm now cosplaying as the Weekend at Bernie's, but the bald version.
Nice. And except there's no one to control you
Damn it.
from the back. So,
Whoa, hey, whoa.
Okay.
You heard.
okay.
No, I'm joking.
So, we're here to talk about a specific topic, which is that of how we got into the music we are in. Music, the most popular, well-known, universally consumed form of art that everyone has, very personal to a lot of people. It's
Yeah.
a very special type of art. So we're going to talk about how both of us got into the music we've got into from our lives, history.
And you know, music is the most impactful thing. Actually,
It's a drug.
It's literally a drug. I read somewhere that if you read music, it releases dopamine, and among other things.
If you read, like reading like musical, like times, like.
So I read some articles that
Or listen to
It
music.
helps. So sorry, I was trying to figure out what it was. Don't quote me on this. It says that something about helping with 80% of depression in people.
Oh.
So if you listen to 5 or 6 songs a day, there's an 80% chance you won't be depressed during that day.
Oh, I've had many musical savior moments in times of
Absolutely.
desperation.
I've had a lot of times where I wanted to self-delete and
Control Alt Delete.
yeah, I want to hit Control Alt Delete, and then I had a song that helped me through it. Songs are very important. They're like little time capsules of emotions.
Exactly, time capsules. So we're gonna see how we got to. So let's start with you.
Yes.
Which you are an artist yourself, a
I
creator
am.
of music, and you do rap primarily, but you've been dipping your toes into other kinds of vibes.
Oh,
yeah.
yes. And actually, a lot of the stuff that you've heard are not out. And so if you go to my Spotify right now, that's Rockstarliiife, 1 word, 3 eyes. Say it. Rockstarliiife, 1 word, 3 eyes. Say it. Rockstarliiife, 1 word, 3 eyes. So if you spell it like that, that's how you're going to find me. You can Google it, anything that you want. Boom, boom, boom. It's all there. Whatever. But all of my music is like time capsules as well. Anywho, so music is beautiful, and it all started when I had my first memories. I mean, I know my grandma was jamming out to like the 60s music, and you know, got the Bobby Brown going, and we swang like this, you know. But those are like very faint memories. My first like actual like solidified memories is in a Jeep Cherokee with my stepmom, my dad. I don't know how old I was, but I remember we were reckless back then, you know what I mean? When they're young parents, you aren't really, you're not really like, all right, we're going 30 and 35. No. We going 60, baby. Let's go. And by the way, in that Jeep Cherokee in the trunk, we got that big old super bass thing to take up the whole entire trunk. Them windows are blasting. And what are they blasting? They blasting a mixture of DMX and 50 Cent.
50.
Feel a little bit of 50. Oh, wait. You know what? Maybe today I'm not feeling rap. Well, guess what? My favorite band in the world. Rest in peace to Chester Bennington.
Oh yeah.
Linkin Park.
That was heavy.
That is literally the best fucking band ever.
So that's
ever.
the first band you really fully connected with
That
emotionally.
was the first one, because if you just the lyrics, the words,
Oh yeah.
the cadence, the singing, the
mixture,
emotions.
they're like almost like very original combination of rapping and them and Limp Bizkit. I think they're kind of like in the same lane, where they combined. They're one of the first pioneers of combining rap flow into rock and metal kind of sounds.
They've helped me through a lot. I remember So that's like, you know how like you kind of have like a memory from like when you're 4, then you kind of like,
Yep.
I don't have nothing else until I'm 5, or like I don't have nothing else until I'm 6.
Yeah.
So that's like my earlier memories. Then I remember I'm in 4th grade, and I have this boom box with CD player on it, and I needed my CD, so I had to buy my first CD. Do you want to take a wild guess what my first CD I bought is? Yeah, I don't think you'll get it. It's not something I named.
Can you give me the genre? Was it adjacent to Linkin Park or something totally different?
It is rap, and you know what?
And what year around? You don't know?
I don't know. Well, you know what? I have kind of a lead up.
Okay.
You have 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Eminem
Nope. Nope. So my first CD I got was from someone who did it first. He did it first. He said, "Watch me, you."
Oh, Soulja Boy.
Crank That Soulja Boy was my first CD.
So I remember
bought.
when that came out.
Yep. So
wasn't even
Soulja Boy
into
can
rap
say
back then.
he was the first CD I got. He can say that. Soulja Boy, you were first. I will give you them flowers.
He was your first?
Hey, I don't kiss and tell now. How do you think I got this bald head? I mean, something had to go on there.
Man.
Anyways, so.
Okay. So Soulja Boy was your first CD you bought?
He was my first CD I bought, and I bought the explicit version on accident.
Of course.
And then I'm over here, I'm blasting that shit. It's nice. I'm learning all the dance moves and everything like that.
Oh, Superman.
Oh, now watch me, you get that soldier. Watch me, you get it. Yes.
I knew that before I even got into rap, just because of how much it was pumped into my ears everywhere.
Fun fact: this is when YouTube first started. It's when YouTube first started going, and that's where I learned how to do the dances by watching YouTube. When it first
before TikTok existed.
And I don't know if you know this. We're not that old now, but
I'm pretty old.
What I say? Like. I said I bought a CD.
Yeah.
So.
I was buying CDs too.
Yeah. What CDs were you buying, sir?
Hold on. I think we might have a situation. Is that fine?
Back in 5 seconds.
Yeah, check that real quick.
And we're back.
So you asked me this. So
what CDs do you buy as a kid?
I was gonna let you go till but this is better to go back to at around this time of our lives. So when my first memory of really homing into a type of music, I remember I had this FM radio, like handheld radio.
Yep.
That you can just listen to while like we were at my grandparents' house. I remember like putting on the radio and.
Was it a cranker?
No. It had batteries by then, but yeah, it was like a digital radio thing, and I don't remember exactly, and probably because my dad or something. The first genre I got into was the oldies, like the 60s and 70s music.
Yeah.
Like the pop hits of those days.
Yeah.
Like a lot. I mean, there's so many that I can name, but you'll know them if you just search it. But yeah, so I was super obsessed with the oldies. Like I remember, I think one of the first songs I learned when I started playing guitar at the age of 10 was "Brown Eyed Girl" by Van Morrison.
Mm-hmm.
You my brown eyed girl. You know that song, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It looks like you're trying to think about it and you don't really remember, but it's fine.
I heard it. I just don't know.
I'm sure you've heard it before.
I'm trying to remember what comes after that.
You would know. Yeah, I'm not gonna try to sing it, but yeah. Anyway, it's that kind of music I got into real. But like 4 years later, when I got into high school, the first band that like struck me in a way was an old. I was never in the time zone. I was never into the whatever was fun. It was Guns N' Roses.
Yo, yes, absolutely.
Guns N' Roses.
Yes.
Was the first CD I bought. Funny story, at Target. This is hilarious. I still can't believe this. This is what happened.
I bought my Soulja Boy CD at Target as well.
Hell yeah! So I'm walking around the store at 14 with this in my hand with my friends, And I have the CD. We hadn't bought it yet. We were just like strolling around. I'm like, Appetite for Destruction, their first album. Fantastic album. And an older dude, like 30, 40, 50, somewhere around that age, we're walking past. He looks at me, points to the CD, he goes, greatest album of all time. And I was like, hell yeah. I felt so cool. I was like, this guy said,
He knows what he's
I didn't even
talking
buy it yet. I had it in my hand. I was like, hell yeah. And that was I had obviously I'd heard the songs before because the internet was already around, but I wanted the CD. So that was like super validating. I can't forget that moment. And so yeah, the Appetite for Destruction I had a Guns N' Roses shirt that I wore like in some of the first days of high school. Like I was a Guns N' Roses fucking Slash was my guitar idol. That's how I wanted to learn guitar even more because of him, and I learned all the solos, November Rain, Sweet Child of Mine, all the tons of different
Sweet
Don't Cry.
Child of Mine.
That's Sweet Caroline.
You see, listen, I'm tired, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, sweet child of mine.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
such an idiot.
that's the song. I actually did a cover of that.
L
Half
Rockstar in the
acoustic.
chat.
But yeah, so that band, that was my first CD. I think that was my first CD that I consciously bought on my own at the age of 14, and that was 2007. So yeah, that was, and then it evolved greatly from there. But let's go back to you Linkin Park, and then Soulja Boy was your first CD.
So I listened to Soulja Boy CD, and that was the only CD I had. And then my stepdad at the time, he had this beautiful thing called an iPod Classic, and that thing was so good.
Oh, I had those.
The satisfaction of just scrolling with it. Oh, can you just you can kind of just feel it.
I remember.
Oh my God! So he had this thing, and I'm going through all these things, and Dave Matthews Band. Of
My
course.
God, I went through a huge Dave Matthews. I saw him like 4 times. I can't remember.
Oh, my family gonna love you.
I fucking love.
They've gone to like 30 at least.
Start.
At least. So everything's like Dave Matthews Band. God, the other guy, John Mayer.
Mayer.
But I'm like
The
over
other
here,
guy.
like I want some rap, man. I want
You
some
were
rap.
into-
I've been listening to these songs. All my life I've been listening to mostly rock, and then like the rap was like the kind of like I kind of gotta sneak it, because like my first memories are listening to rap, but then something happened in there. I made my first rap song, and they didn't like it, so we stopped listening to
Your
rap.
family.
Oh yeah. So well, when you're like but anyways,
I get it.
so I was lacking the rap, and they changed. After like about a couple weeks, they figured out, or I think it was like a month or two, because there was like a good 1 or 2 months in between the Soulja Boy CD and then the other one. The Soulja Boy CD, if you remember what I said earlier, I got as an explicit, but then they found out it was explicit, and
your parents didn't like
they
that.
traded it in for a clean version. It ain't the same, man. It ain't the same. So I'm scrolling through the iPod, and what do I find? Oh, there's Linkin Park on there. Oh my God, there's a rapper's name on there with that album. Linkin Park and Jay-Z.
Oh
The
yeah.
collaborative album. I listened to that album, I think, for a year straight. And I was just so adorned with emotions of how awesome it was to have both rock and rap all together. The fucking rhymes, the fucking melodies, oh God, that's why I am how I am.
Yeah.
Now,
I see.
a little out of left field. What's the best album of all time in your opinion?
I hate those questions.
What's your
My favorite.
albums?
I can't even. This is why when I do the FERM faves, I can't even have a top, because it's usually I have to have a general fave, because it's all depends on how in certain time frames I would say this is the album I'm listening to the most, but I can't say what's the best. I have to name at least 10.
Go ahead. You don't have to.
Appetite for Destruction.
Okay.
Keeping in that time zone. Well, before that, fucking The Wall, Pink Floyd, and oh my God, I forgot what that album. I feel like such an asshole with the colors and
The Triangle.
Yeah.
It's
Why?
Pink Floyd.
Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed.
Oh my God.
It's Dark Side of the Moon.
There you go.
Jesus Christ, scared the
There you
shit
go.
out of me for a second. Dark Side of the Moon. And then Alice in Chains. I saw them live with the new singer. Alice in Chains, at least two of their albums. And then even further, a few Eminem albums. The 1975, which is a band that like changed my perspective a lot. And when they first came out, that's a whole nother thing.
I lost my virginity to a 1975 song.
Which one?
Oh, God.
Sex?
No, not Sex.
That would be.
It was on the same
appropriate.
album as Chocolate, but it was like
That's the same first song. Sex is on that album too.
It was where she's like running. Like there's a music video where she's like trying to get away from him or something like that.
The City.
God, I can't remember.
What other music videos on that album? Anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
That's great. Yeah. Well, no, I was just trying to name albums that I love from. I missed the whole era that I went through of emo, like The Used, Brand New.
Asking Alexandria.
Yeah. I listened to them a little bit, but not as much.
I listened to a couple songs.
There's so many emo. The All American Rejects.
Mm-hmm.
I got really into when they were around, and a lot of others in that I'm forgetting, and so that was like my real bread and butter music when I was a teenager. It was alt rock, emo, and 80s, 90s stuff, and then I didn't get into. I've heard when I was a kid when Eminem like, "Hi, my name is," and cleaning out my closet, like I remember hearing them being like, "That's interesting," but I never got into the rap. It just never. I don't want to get into the race thing. It's appropriate, but we weren't a racist family. But like in my culture, in my community that I was friends with, we just didn't like. We just thought like rap was black people music.
Yeah.
No racism intended, but that was just the way we thought about it at the time. Not like fuck it, it's like we hate it because it's from black. But that was just the way. And then Eminem kind of broke that barrier.
He did, and as someone who I loved Eminem so much, especially
he's one of my favorites,
especially when he was high. Something happened in middle school. When I was listening to Eminem, God, what was was it Relapse?
Relapse is a wild album with a lot of fucked up songs. Yeah,
one of my
favorites.
One with the Nate Dogg song on it. What's that album?
The what song?
The Nate Dogg song.
Oh, I don't.
Boom, boom.
I think I know what you're talking.
It's before Relapse. It's
Recovery
or some shit.
No, Recovery is after Relapse. The Eminem show and then the Eminem show was
the one
before.
With his face on it.
His face?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah, in a pixel, a mosaic. That's Relapse.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh. So I remember I was listening to Eminem, and I was in computer class, and they're like, "What do you?"
It was 2008 or 2009 that came out.
Yeah, so I was in computer class, and we had the thing over the keyboard, and I'm listening to music, of course. This music is great. You would not catch me able to focus without music. That's factual. So, anyways, a bunch of people come up to me, and they're like, "Hey, what do you listen to?" Oh, they're like, I'm showing them, like, I'm listening to this, the Eminem Nate Dogg song, and they're like, no, you can't be listening to that. We get in a whole argument, and there is 4 of them and 1 of me. Get a whole argument over, like, no, it's okay. Like, this is still music. Even though he's white, this is still music. We get in this whole argument. And because they're like, no, you can't be listening to white people. And, well, then I get stomped. So,
yeah, that's...
So I stopped listening to white rappers for the longest time because of that. And I was in middle school. So it took me...
So they just hated Eminem and the fact that white people were in rap.
Yeah. So...
Which happened way before they're even knowing about this, because Eminem popped off in the late 90s.
It's not a race thing. It is a community or culture thing. No, it's not. I don't want to say it's
race is embedded in it, but because it was started by the black community, hip-hop.
I don't want to say it's the full black community, but there are even not even just black community, but it is there are small communities like neighborhoods or like this group of friends.
Yeah, they're
like
isolated.
Where they're isolated communities. Thank you.
They're not
like,
they're
this
not
cannot
connected.
be.
Yeah, I get it.
And anyways,
which still exists, I'm sure. There's still people that hate Eminem and like, fuck you, you don't belong. 100%. Always gonna be haters.
I've got thrown out of shows because of my skin color, but well, that's for another time. Anyways, but I will tell you this. Yeah, hold on. You've watched my music videos. Have you seen a music video of mine? Have you? Which one's your favorite? Down in the comments. So if you notice in my music videos,
there's a handful of them. Yeah.
There's a handful. There's 15, I think.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you notice my music videos, I do not do skits. I refuse to do skits. Do you want to know why?
I love skits.
I refuse to do skits in my music videos.
What? Why?
Because the greatest album of all time.
Oh, this is all leading up to your greatest album.
Is Monkey Business by the Black Eyed Peas.
Really? Wow, I didn't expect that.
Musically?
For you?
Musically? Absolutely. This is all my personal opinion. Musically, the sounds, the engineering, everything around it, just the composition of it, it's so every time you listen to it, you get something new. It was literally, I love that album. But I hate watching the music videos.
Is that the album with that famous song, People Killing, People Die? Am I thinking of that right?
It might be that one. I don't really know.
They got that famous song with it was a huge hit where it was like, it was about love and like people, everyone like, I think that was the melody.
I'm
not
not 100% sure because I had to stop listening to it because most of the time whenever I would listen to that album, I'd go on YouTube. Now I don't know if you know this, but their music videos are on YouTube and they have a whole playlist on like the whole thing, right? Is this the most annoying thing?
They did a bunch of skits.
Like it's literally like, this is the song, this is the song, this is the song. Here's a skit. This is a song, this is a song. Here's a skit. It's all in the same. There's like 5 fucking skits, and it just. I want to see the vision of the song while I'm listening to the song. I do not want you to. It was the most irritating thing in the world to me. So I refuse to do that because I know as a kid, loving these music. God, I can't even remember any of the song names for some reason right now. My brain is just fried.
We'll wrap it up soon.
Yes, but on a note, I will tell you this though. So that is my number one.
Okay, interesting.
That is my number one. Number one, Good AM by Mac Miller.
Oh yeah, that's a good.
But that has to come out after the Carter 3. And even though it's not, I mean, I can't really say the dedications. Let's just put all of Lil Wayne's dedications in there.
This is why I say the way I say it, because it's just there's too many. You can't just.
There's too many.
Some people can.
But I know number one. I know number one. That's for sure.
That's interesting.
And
Black Eyed Peas.
Hybrid Theory, of course.
Hybrid Theory.
A Minutes to Midnight. This is hard.
Well,
you do this bi-weekly?
Go ahead and stop trying to think about that. But something that I was going to say was about the rap thing, because I said I didn't get into rap until, because I was saying Eminem. I heard the hits, right? Mm-hmm. But I never got. I surprisingly didn't really get into hip hop deep until Post Malone came around. He kind of hooked me in deep, which was like 2016. Like it was pretty late, and it
was pretty lit.
Late, I said.
Oh, I
in terms of like how long hip hop has been around as a music consumer. But I mean, of course, I've heard. Like I never not listened.
That's
to
okay.
it.
I was very hateful to country for
me
all of
too,
my life until I heard one song.
Yeah,
there's one country song.
We didn't get to the stories about the psychedelic experiences that open up your mind. Open up your mind to music via psychedelics. You'll have a whole other perspective on styles and genres.
If you hate something, or you want No, I can't endorse it too much.
It's gonna get too deep.
Yeah, God. But anyways, I used to hate if you put on a country song. I used to get mad, but now
me too.
I will listen to the actual thing, and
it's just the vibe. It's
a vibe. Maybe feel the vibe.
It's very. A lot of them are just very specific about the southern drawl and having the pickup truck. There's a lot of tropes that are. Oh, it's just very recycled. I think that's why country gets hate. But the people who relate to it love it because they relate to it, and good for them. Respect.
There's just one breakup song that's a country song that like changed my whole life.
Okay, well we don't have time to get into that.
We don't. So you're gonna have to guess what it is in the comments.
We'll have another part of this one as well because there's more history of musical tastes and discoveries that we haven't enough time here to reveal. But it's always an interesting conversation. And speaking of comments, which I bet if somebody comments about what I'm saying right now, I will literally give you $20. Because I don't believe it's gonna happen.
YouTube.com/@realfirm.
Yeah, comment what was your first favorite band or song that you can remember as far back as it goes. I will literally Cash App or Venmo you $20 because I genuinely do not believe anyone is consciously listening at this point to leave a comment. But prove me wrong, and I swear to God. DM me and I will literally give you $20.
Listen.
That's a challenge.
You got to do it. We're making these things for you. But I know it's also for the few who actually stick around. And if you stick around, thank you. Please comment.
But a caveat, only the first person, just in case multiple people
they're all going to be like, we did it first.
Just want the first by time stamp of the comment will get $20. I'm not, if a bunch of people hear it and actually do it, I'm not going to give everyone $20. Only the first person.
So if you're listening,
I still don't believe it's going to happen though.
If you're listening on Amazon, Apple Music, or Spotify, go to youtube.com/@realfirm right now. It's going to be the video with the same title. Go to there.
Episode
11?
Maybe 11. It could be, yeah. We'll see what happens. Anyway, thank you for listening and watching.
Thank you.
Hit the like button and do the things. We'll see you next time.
5 stars.
Peace and love and music.
Live a life worth living, baby.